I would rather not do that because that's not what I'm here for. I was asked to be as patient and wise as possible in establishing a peaceful regime on Earth again, because it was like this under the Atlanteans, in which I was the chief priest of the Atlan. It's hard to get all of this energy rewired back through the divergent, convergent synthesis process. I needed a whole lot of priests over a long time. So you see, that's why they were in caves, because they had to pass this energy and do these rituals in order to make sure that we can break this demon's stronghold. And I was the only one capable of doing it. And so they figured that if they got rid of me and kept me from coming to help you, they can hold y'all in hostages and slaves forever. But they forgot I never fail. I never lose. Even when they think I lose, I'm still winning, because the only way that they was able to get me to lose is self-sacrifice. And self-sacrifice is the highest form of honor and dignity in the existence of creation. Yeah, a lot of people done it following my lead. Put themselves in adverse situations and try to survive it. If they didn't, then they already knew what would happen, as in Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. And I can go on with that for hours. So I'm not going to do a roll call on the ancestors that fell. But what I will tell y'all is this. Keep your heads up. Look forward to the future. Without the tyrant's reign. I'm going to get him out of here one way or the other. Y'all can help me by taking y'all ball and going home all over the planet. Or y'all can just sit back and don't do nothing and don't say nothing. And I can call some shit y'all gonna be totally flabbergasted about. And if you think I'm joking, just look overhead and be surprised at what you see. I am not joking. This is not a game. And with that, Trump, it's your turn. You up.
What's going on, God?
What's going on, God body? What's going on with you?
Now see, I knew I came in late, but I knew you was gonna hit me up and bring me in. I knew that. So look, I feel like I know you, bro, from somewhere. I feel like I've been knowing you. When I first saw your face, I don't know if that was on Facebook because we follow each other on Facebook, but I knew when I saw you, I know this cat. I know this brother from somewhere. I don't know where they come from, but I got ties up in Chi, Southside Chicago.
That's my stomping ground.
Moved down here to the M-Town. I call it Orange Mound, Tennessee. That's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna say some shit that some people might be embarrassed about or wouldn't want to talk about.
Say it. I'm all with that.
Yeah, it did, right? Because that's what needed to be done. So I came into this Moors movement and got fucked around from some folks trying to sell them goddamn packages and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And started trying to do the study on my own. And so I'm a little perplexed about that shit. I'm not really understanding all that until I started listening to you. And I'm like, hold up. It seemed like he connected some dots for me. Because you've been seeing me trying to rap with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you had, you remember me trying to rap with you, right?
I'm not for sure because I got so many people, I can't keep up with everybody.
Right. So I'm trying to connect the dots of how we supposed to go about overstanding. Are we using this term more? Are we Moors? Do I need to be doing this paperwork, which I already did? And I did that shit. Am I supposed to be sending this shit to such and such and such, or how am I supposed to be doing that shit, man? Because like,
we overthrowing their system with our system. Their system requires you to file paperwork with them.
Right.
Our system requires us to make public notice in the public domain for the people to see when we tell them what the situation is. So when we assert our sovereign status, we don't need no paperwork. We do it by public notice. Public notice is valid in every one of their court systems. Notice to agent is notice to principal. When you put it on the public forum, if any one of their agents come across it by accident or on purpose, they all been notified.
So you saying like what, through the newspaper or the city council or
social media? Look, social media is a viable form of archivable public notice to be recorded with timestamps.
So shit, I done that then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
all on the public, on social media, letting them know I'm Morris, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. So let me give you a little background about the Moors. So if you know the history, you remember that some guys came to Noble Drew Ali trying to get the magic word from him, what they call the sacred word. And this led to a schism between two factions of so-called Moors. But let's go back a little further. Noble Drew Ali was first a Moor in New Jersey under the Moorish Zionist temple. And when he seen what they was doing, he was able to put it in the public domain. You remember him say, I unveiled all the secret societies and put it in the public domain?
Dig, right?
Right. So that's in oral statements and prophecies. Everything they was doing in secret, he instructed people to put it in the public in a systematic format so we could see what's going on behind the scenes. These was the ones who used the police to arrest him, but they the ones that killed him, beat him like that.
Right.
Trying to make him give them the word. Right? But he don't even know what the word is that he got. He just know he got it.
Okay.
He don't know what it is, but he know he got it. And the only reason he know he got it because they all coming for him. So this what made Elijah Muhammad form FOI. Because we needed somebody that was paramilitary that could defend against the JDL. And the Jewish Defense League was the Moorish Zionist Jews out of New Jersey and New York. They have a whole community, gated community of trillionaire Negroes in upstate New York that's Zionist Moors. They the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. They got another community just outside of Newark, New Jersey. You won't never see them because you can't get in their community because it's fenced in.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come in our community, they come in our communities as teachers. They come in our community as leaders and all kind of shit, and they always misleading us to the slaughter on purpose. So when Noble Drew Ali say get a good Moorish education, he telling us study these motherfuckers thoroughly from beginning to end. Right? So I studied them all the way back to Etruscan Moors, through the Ottoman Empire, through the Arabian Peninsula, across North Africa. I end up in La Palma. And La Palma is where the Stargate they came through at.
They meaning who?
The ones that don't belong here, they come from what we call a mirror dimension.
Okay.
Their genetics is backwards from ours. When they came here, they didn't look like us. But when we killed them and they was reborn, they looked like us.
Okay.
All right, so them was the original invaders. They were conjured up by some motherfuckers that looked like us. Meaning the portal was opened by some motherfuckers that looked like us. That was upset because they was not from the royal house.
So see, I had got that story before. I don't mean to cut you off, but I got that story before that the niggas who really behind the scene is niggas that look like us. It's not them motherfucking Albion.
Right. Those are cat's paw.
Right.
That's how they kept us out of the lodges. And only they knew which lodges to go in, and they always went in through the back door.
Motherfucker.
So when they having their lodge meetings, they got all of these pale people in there. So we invited Europeans over here in mass so we could overrun all of their institutions with Europeans. With the
And
pale
that's them
nations of
clandestine
Europe.
motherfuckers, right?
Huh?
That's them clandestine motherfuckers, right?
The ones that came, the ones that we called over here, or the ones that came over here with the invaders?
I don't know. Which one is it?
The ones we called over here is the ones came over with the Great Migration in Ellis Island. The reason we called them over here because they already kicked them out of Europe.
Right. Okay.
Since they already kicked them out of Europe, they know what they was doing.
And those are the ones that are clandestine?
Well, all of them clandestine, so to speak, because clandestine means secret.
Okay.
You mean it's to do something, and it's to do a whole operation in secret.
Okay.
Right. So the ones they brought over here with them, they called them tawny Moors. And the ones that brought them was called blackamoors.
Okay.
But together they all conquistadors.
Conquistadors, right? The conquistadors. Okay.
Right. So the ones that was leading the charge as the conquistadors was the blackamoors, because they was the strategists. They were the navigators of the seas, like Pedro de Negro with Columbus. They look like us. They ain't us. They don't vibe like us. They frequency different. We know who we is when we meet each other. Right.
Right.
So, the settlements that they set up over here, and we was warring with them. I mean, bloody feuds, bloody wars. Like, look at the Seminole Wars was 300 consecutive years of nonstop action.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They end up leveling all of the trees in Florida. Like, people don't even know that Florida used to have trees like New Orleans in the swamp. And then there was people that lived there that lived in huts and rode around on canoes, like cars. Because they cut all the trees down so they could see across the land because they was getting their ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So we had to do something different. And the difference was that they challenged us to a conjure war to stop the bloodletting. And then they started bloodletting rituals after they signed the agreements, which violated every what they call treaty. Right? So now you gotta look at the circumstances surrounding the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. And Morocco wasn't Morocco when that was signed, contrary to popular opinion. There was no country in Africa called Morocco proper as it is now. That country's a little over 100 years old.
Right.
In the flag that they telling us is the Moorish flag that you got over your shoulder right there, that flag only have their star on it a little over 100 years. So they used to fly a plain red flag.
Right.
Right.
That's
then they put right. So they systematically reconstructed our history in front of our face.
So see, this is the shit that I'm trying to put together, man, because like I didn't think that we should be fucking with, you know, the Moorish temple, the actual Moorish science temple, and fucking with a temple or whatnot. I'm just not clear on all this shit, and I'm trying to make sure I get this shit right and be doing the right thing.
Okay, let's look at it. After Noble Drew Ali departed, they incorporated under the United States Corporation the Moorish Science Temple. Right? But when Noble Drew Ali founded it, it was the Holy Temple of Science, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science.
Mm-hmm.
They incorporated the Moorish Science Temple, a religious organization. It wasn't a religious organization when Noble Drew Ali founded it. It was a civics organization.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What the fuck you go to religion for? Why are you calling that shit religion?
Because you got to know who control religion. All religions spring out of Rome. There's only 3 religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
Oh, right.
Right. Christianity is the oldest of the three. They had to create a backstory, so they wrote the Judaism doctrine
Mm-hmm.
to give the Christians a backstory. But the backstory undermined the Christian doctrine.
Right. And then they came with that damn Islam.
And then it came with Islam. So now they brought all three of them over here in waves to make sure we well divided amongst each other based on a religious controversy. You remember reading that in Circle 7?
It is for my rituals. I have checks that I write, and then, you know, I put the amount on it, then I burn it. So this is one of the check amounts. What? Do they got it paused for y'all? Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. They had it paused for me. And then the amounts just go higher and higher. So 15. Then we got 150. And these are for my friends. One is 175,000. And then the other one is 101,500.
Mm-hmm.
And so literally it's like, it's not just me doing it just to do it. It's sincerely, like, I do it for my friends. I do it for my YouTube subscribers. So I call my YouTube subscribers rainicorns. So I have written, literally my subscribers, I've written rainicorns 2 checks so far. And literally I did it. I didn't like do a whole video and be like, hey, you guys, I'm going to do this. It was like, hey guys, I did this thing. How are y'all feeling? Did you feel the results from it? And literally I had the check written and dated April 18th. And a whole bunch on the video commented and said, I actually did get money on April 18th. Yeah, I did get money and stuff like that. With all that going on, I'm just that, you know, my life's going well, and I'm making things better for other people too, and that everybody like around me has a great life. Like, I'm genuinely happy about that.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's that mother energy. Is you want all of your kids. Look, you want all your children to have a good life. You don't want one of them to have a good life and the other one to have a bad life.
Right.
Right? You want all of them to have a good life. Now, some of them might be some assholes. They steal your babies, and you still want them to have a good life.
Hey, that's true. No, that's true. Like, literally, like you said with the child analogy, it's like that with people in general, right? So, like, me, I don't have to be emotionally tied to a person for me to still treat them right. I don't have to like you in order for me to do what needs to be done. People have had jobs. People have had jobs. You have a coworker. You've had a coworker that you don't like, but you still work with them because that's what you get paid to do. So my job literally being here is to be the vessel to say certain things. Whether I like you or not, I still got to get my job done. My reward doesn't come from you. It doesn't come from anybody else besides, you know who? Big Mama. Exactly. So it's like, when I look to the Most High for whatever I need, and I don't really have to care about what other people feel, it makes my job that much easier. It's just people let emotions and feelings get in the way of the mission.
You know, your emotions is just supposed to be your navigation system. Most of us don't know that. So that's why when you get stuck in the emotion, that's like being stuck in the change oil light on your car. If you keep watching that just because it's blinking, you're going to crash.
No, because why did I buy car oil today? Oh no, that's lit. That's lit. I love that. But I love that analogy too. Your analogy, you really have the best analogies. You break things down to where people can understand it, of course, and then you break it down to where they can relate it to something that happens in everyday life.
Yeah, because that's the easiest thing for them to relate to.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. And now I just been up here talking. How are you? I'm not. You're not gonna do that. Just go get away. We're not telling me how you are.
Hey, look, Ellie,
your energy is like a uplifting energy. Like, the people in the comments can even feel it, you know. So it's always a pleasure to have you around. So I just
I
let you do your thing.
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna ignore my question though.
Okay, what's the question?
How are you? Oh my goodness. I want to
I
know.
answered that
Like,
first.
you said
I
what?
told you I was good.
No. I'm not just gonna like accept that as the answer. I'm gonna need some details. How was your week last week? How was your weekend?
You know, on the weekend, the big event was I did the video with Black Magic 363 on YouTube, and was able
That's cool.
to answer a
That's really
lot
cool.
of questions and put a lot of information out on there. I think the hardest thing for people at this point to understand is creation is fluid. It's happening in real time. Tomorrow not here yet. In order for
I hear
tomorrow
you.
to, in order for tomorrow to get here, we got to manifest tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's a
Exactly.
collective manifestation. That's why we all know we're gonna wake up tomorrow, because we creating that shit in real time. Right? And some of the creators can see it in wave form, so they see a flat earth.
Mm.
And some of the creators see it in particle form, so they see a round earth. They don't make now one of them right or wrong, it just make them have a different view.
Okay.
They at a different level of creativity in their psyche. Right? So it's like you can't expect a high school or junior high school basketball player to compete with LeBron James right now. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Right? But if you give him the time and you help him to develop, he'll be able to play in the league with the best of the best. Right? So the creator's learning how to create. You have to see it in every phase.
Right.
Right? So at your level, you might not be able to see over the infinite plane of the mind, because that's where the infinite plane is. In order to see past the infinite plane, you have to see through